Qarin the Fifth, now 58 years of age, has secured glorious victories, most recently seizing Syria from the Arabian Empire. But with triumph comes new challenges. The Shahanshah seeks to transform Persia from a loose clan confederation into a centralized administrative empire. Yet time is against him. Succession looms, and with many sons and new laws to consider, the question of who will inherit the throne grows ever more urgent. Beyond Persia's borders, the Byzantines gather strength, while the Arabian Empire, the Mordvinids, and the restless nomads bide their time, ready to strike at the first sign of weakness. The fate of our Zoroastrian Persia hangs in the balance. Welcome back everybody to our Zoroastrian Persia run. In the previous episode, we had just taken the kingdom of Syria away from the Arabian Empire. The Arabian Empire, or the Abbasid Empire now, is still relatively strong, but nowhere near as dominant as they once were. That's a hell of a beard, by the way. His name is literally Jahan the Bearded. That's incredible. I feel like the Abbasids shouldn't be as big of an issue as they once were. They are reduced in strength. They have the Bedouin Confederation to deal with, Khan Bornu, as well as the Byzantines. Qarin the Fifth, the drunkard of the Vandad Empire, is now 58 years of age, still feeling fine, despite the fact that we have quite a few traits that could very easily make us not feel great. Our player heir is Vandad. He is 22 years of age. He did pick up Fornicator, which is non-ideal, but everything else is very nice indeed, particularly being Midas touched. But what is our goal for today then? Well, the first thing I would like to do is shore up these holes in the realm here, pick up to Tbilisi, as well as the rest of Sunyak here. Bit annoying because it's all like individual counties from different duchies and whatnot. From there, we'll want to expand into the Byzantines. Honestly though, it's going to be frustrating. It's going to be such a big war for not a lot of land, but we somewhat have to pick up the rest of Mesopotamia here so that we can actually start bordering some full-on kingdoms and then really start carving up the Byzantine Empire. In tandem with that though, we are going to be building up our economy so that we can actually fund the vast number of troops that we now have. Our army is still particularly diminished at the moment after our fight with Syria, so actually a good time to build up and focus on economy. Speaking of economy, when we actually get the 3,000 gold we need, we will then be adopting a centralized administration. I think our realm has grown so much at this point that it's about time that we actually pick up a new government type. It'll be interesting to see exactly how the realm looks once this swap actually happens, but then we'll have influence and all of that good stuff to deal with. I think it'll make managing the realm that we have quite a bit easier and should hopefully make it even easier to start to carve our way through the Byzantine Empire to eventually pick up Thessalonica and Hellas. Something that I am conscious of as well when it comes to adopting that centralized administration is I do want to make sure that we still have quite a few years left in us, because there is a risk that when we actually transition over, other families, it's harder to see right now because it's difficult to see the exact sway that one family has inside of the realm, but they could be particularly strong, especially since we actually have quite a few kingdom tier vassals. So I want to make sure I can live long enough to make sure that my designated heir ends up being next in succession here. Clan has been good to us. It's been pretty sweet to play in. No major worries about succession. A bit annoying that you tend to always lose a bit of your land, but it's been super nice being able to not have to worry about those individual kingdoms and whatnot. But thankfully, admin should do that for us as well. Something else that I think is very important to consider as we start to expand and go on our different war campaigns is we really want to make sure that we always have some form of reserve force to deal with the war somewhere else in the realm. If we attack the Byzantines and then the Abbasid Empire attacks us, want to make sure we can hold them off, but at the same time, whether it's dealing with factions or all of these different kingdoms and duchies that we now border over to our east, we don't want any of these to get some big ideas and try and actually invade us all the way over here if we have all of our army raised somewhere else. So we do need to start thinking at a sort of grander scale, given how big our empire is at the moment. If we zoom out, we are quite noticeable on the map now. This is an interesting event. Findings published. Sometimes it can be hard to justify keeping scholars on our payroll. Their work so rarely directly benefits the realm. No doubt, this is something that my court scholar Mahadevi is quite aware of herself. Today's detailed progress report is delivered with such enthusiasm that it borders on insincere. Progress can only be a good thing, and she has picked up the trait scholar. Actually an incredible lifestyle trait here. +3 learning, an increase to development growth, a slowdown in development decline, and then every temple building builds faster and cheaper, as well as temple holdings. Obviously, that's just for her, given that she's our court scholar, but it would be interesting eventually if we could be a ruler that was also a scholar. Vakrim died. Oh, that is not good. You were our hostage from the actual Mordvinids. That's not fantastic to see. Died of measles at 10 years of age. Apologies about that, my friend, or I shouldn't say my friend, really. Mordvinids still looking quite strong. Still just always a bit of a lurking threat in the background. Not when we're sitting back passively and building up our forces. Not so much an issue then, but whenever we're weak, that's when the Mordvinids tend to like to strike, and that's when it can become quite worrying. But hopefully the frog here will die off soon and the realm might split again. Now, unfortunately, we have had to have an affair with our personal physician, mainly because any option to not allow her to be successful in her seduce scheme against me would have given me a critical stress break. And also, we are both a rakish character as well as being a drunkard, so I think it's somewhat on brand. So we've actually had this man here, Zachariah Rumi, who's offered to build us a road. And while he's working on it, we have the option to continuously expand out the road or have different options happen. So we can get expanded public works, the road progress and quality increases, as well as our holding taxes and popular opinion. We could get the control growth to increase, or we could cut construction costs. We don't really need to cut construction costs. I've been heavily reinvesting anyway, but it hasn't been that expensive. Let's expand the road further though. The road network through Isfahan is finally complete. This will carry people where they need to go for decades to come. So it seems like that then gives the entire county this improved road network both for 30 years, which is pretty incredible. I think I might actually try and recruit you into my court as well. You seem pretty skilled. We have just managed to pick up the avaricious trait here as well, which is very nice, plus 15% holding taxes and 2 more stewardship. I am now going to rotate into the learning lifestyle though, because I would like to live a little bit longer and I would like to pick up Know Thyself as well, so I don't try and adopt an admin government and then die 2 months later. Oh boy, there it is. We have just picked up Infirm. We are not long for this world now. But to be honest, that's okay. I feel like we've left a pretty good legacy as the first descendant of the Sautians. We have also just picked up the Hoardings innovation, so we can now upgrade our castles to level 3. I'm going to follow this with Guild so that we can actually get those high medieval era economic buildings, as well as 1 extra building slot, which should absolutely supercharge our economy. And getting this nice and early is quite nice too, as it should mean that our economy dominates most of our neighbors, except for the Byzantines, because they are usually incredibly further on in terms of tech. I know I'm infirm, and it feels like it might be an issue to do it now, but I did just ask my head of fate for gold, and we are now up to that 3,000. So theoretically, if we could make our powerful vassals happy, we could actually adopt admin early. I would prefer to do that. My only concern is, would we have what we need to sort out succession before we died? I'm going to send some gifts here to the powerful vassals and try and make this happen. Reason being is that right now they don't necessarily love me, but they don't hate me either. Even if my heir actually had the money and prestige to adopt admin, I feel like he would have a lot more work to actually have each of the powerful vassals have at least 50 opinion of him, whereas I feel like I can at least do it now. Through gifts of gold and artifacts as well as alliances, I've managed to get each of my powerful vassals above 50, except for this man here. This is largely because he is Telugu, which does not have fantastic cultural acceptance. So I've sent in some gifts and whatnot, but we might have to try and sway him the rest of the way. He is also 70, so may die soon. That is absolutely incredible. I was in the middle of talking about him and he instantly died. That has solved the problem though. With him gone, all of our powerful vassals do now have an opinion of 50 or more with us. We have gone slightly below the 3k in sending all of those gifts, but in about a month or 2, we should be able to go full admin. And here it is. The Vandad Empire must be governed by laws, institutions, and merit, not family, inheritance, and personal allegiances. A realm as large as this one will never be efficiently governed without an administration of able bureaucrats centered around our beautiful capital. We will adopt the administrative government type. We will gain lawgiver, which is quite nice indeed actually, monthly influence, general opinion, and domicile building construction time, as well as a nice little starter of 250 influence. Every feudal or clan vassal within your de jure realm and of your faith may change their government to administrative. If they fulfill one of the following, they are a powerful vassal, they have an opinion of 25 or more of you, and additionally, any vassals that have a positive opinion of you have a chance to adopt admin government type. Before I do this, do I have any vassals that really dislike me? Because sending them a gift now and having them just agree to become admin saves us a hell of a headache later in terms of actually trying to get them to convert after the fact. To be honest, we're in pretty good standing here. Almost all of our vassals are above the 50 range. So I think we're good to go. Here we go. Let's do it. A new era. Reorganizing a realm the size of the Persian Empire is no small feat. What was once a network of personal loyalties is now a state with governors and officials. Some parts of the realm remain untouched by this reform. Shah Vidikai mistrusts the very idea of a state faith and rejects my reforms. This cannot be tolerated for long. As legalism spreads throughout the realm, no doubt notions of family and vassalage will give way to civic pride and centralization. Law now governs these lands. Okay, that's quite a few notifications. Let's clear all of these and have a look at what we're dealing with here. Okay, there it is. We are now officially known as the Persian Empire, which is very nice. New banner and everything. In terms of succession, it is actually the 50-year-old Viceroy Bozorg of Kabulistan who is our player heir here. He is from House Vandad, but not our direct son. Our sons are all next in line though, which is great to see, and even Vishtazb here is actually not that far off in terms of actual investment. So the good news is that regardless, the top 4 members for succession at the moment are all from our family. In terms of the actual government type itself, let's have a look at noble families here. So we are at least far and away the strongest, which is great to see. Then we have this house here, actually our cousin, not far behind us at all. We have House Tamerlane as well, House Turkey, and House Sirjani, as well as House Poyad as well. Quite a few powerful families here. So we'll want to make sure that we can try and actually really blow past these powerful families in terms of our strength, because at the moment, if they band together, we are screwed. So there was only 2 feudal vassals who refused to become admin, but the clan vassals have been a lot more resistant. We even have some kings in here that are actually still clan and didn't actually become admin. So I'm going to try and stock up on some gold here. It's going to be 300 apiece to try and make them admin, but we will work towards that. Of course, we've also unlocked our actual estate as well. Ooh, and it actually starts with things already built up inside of it. That's interesting. I assume this would have just been empty. So our mansion actually starts at level 3. We have secluded hallways and a large courtyard already. We have hay barracks over here for magnificent horses travel option and army movement speed. The watchtower helps us with raids against our estate. We have a small oil mill as well for some income. And then some guard lodgings for bodyguard aptitude, and house head can ask for knights through the make house head request interaction. Also defends us from raids as well. So the setup here is a bit more defensive against raids than I would like. I'd prefer some things increasing our influence and income, but it'll do for now, and it's a hell of a lot better than what I assumed we would start with, which was nothing. Now what I'm going to do, though, is I'm actually going to create some titles, such as the Kingdom of Syria over here. And these are the titles that we're going to try and actually grant away to members of our family to try and overall increase the strength of our actual house. Before I do that, though, you do need to be admin. There it is. So Viceroy Vandad of Syria here is the first man that we have actually appointed as the Viceroy of Syria. He's actually defending against the Jazeera here, which we don't like. Can I actually have you just stop this war, please? Stop vassal war. Let's see if you accept or not. I feel like you won't. He wants some compensation. That's fine. Take your gold. Stop going to war with each other. It is nice that we can ask the head of faith here for some influence by trading in some piety. We will most certainly do that. Honestly, I need to get out of some old habits here. I'm so used to playing admin inside of our oversized world conquest level Roman Empire. I need to remember that I don't have infinite influence here. What's quite nice is that Transoxiana, the realm that once caused us so much issues, accepted becoming an admin realm and are reduced in strength both in terms of military as well as influence, so their ability to cause issues should be relatively diminished compared to what we had before. Honestly, I think I will demolish the guard lodgings here inside of our actual estate. I want to see what other options we have available to us. Honestly, I think I might go for the market here. It increases our family rating as well as a little bit of domicile income, but later on grants us even more influence just for constructing buildings in our held counties. I think this will be quite nice. The watchtower I will leave in place for now in case we get raided. To be honest though, even in the multiple episodes for the World Conquest Roman admin realm that I played in, my estate was never raided once. Now to be fair, I was quite strong kind of throughout that run once I actually became the emperor in terms of our family rating, so I don't think it was as much of an issue. I will keep the watchtower here for now because I feel like we're probably more open to being raided, but if it doesn't happen for quite a while, I'll probably demolish that as well. We seem to have inherited men-at-arms along the way here as well. We're at 7 out of 5 currently, so we're paying 40% extra. We don't need 1 stack of armored horsemen though, so that can go. I'll probably get rid of the camel riders for now as well, only because the Zupan spearmen here, as well as the mangonels, are actually already above what their max size should be, so happy to hold on to those. Where our military really comes alive though is inside of our provincial armies. We can have 5 men-at-arms specific to the Empire's army, 3 inside of Isfahan, our other province, and then we can actually call upon armies within our other provinces as well. Now, to be honest, none of these are particularly strong at the moment, but as they build up, we should see even more available to be called on here. But the real strength is inside of here. We are essentially getting 8 more men-at-arms slots for free. Well, not for free, for 3,000 gold, 1,000 prestige, and multiple gifts, but you know what I mean. Oof, there it is. Know thyself. We are close to the end and will be dead within a year. But to be honest, this could actually work out tremendously, because I've been slowly and methodically working through every vassal that is not admin, and I've managed to take it down to just 1 feudal and 1 remaining clan vassal that need to be converted. But all of those clan kingdoms are now officially admin, which should leave us in a much better position of control. Being able to retire and depose those governors will be tremendous. What we do need to focus on now, though, is our actual succession. At the moment, it would fall with Vandad, which I don't actually hate. He's 32. I would like if he was a little bit younger, but he's in decent health. He's a fornicator, which is non-ideal. He's already picking up actual experience instead of being a governor and being Midas touched as well. I think it has to be Vandad, and we might not even have to do anything for it to be him, because at the moment, he's already far and away in the lead. Well, maybe not far and away, you're pretty close. Can I invest the remaining influence I have in you? I will give you likely the last of my influence there to try and secure you actually becoming the new ruler of the Persian Empire, but honestly, even dying at this point in time is kind of tremendous because I owe so many people so many favors for becoming admin that those favors will die off with me, and Vandad can take it from there. In terms of our family strength, being able to grant Syria to a family member has helped us a lot. We are now at 586 versus the next most powerful at 297. The main thing is that we keep the powerful families nice and dispersed and make sure that no dominant families show up. That would be a big issue, but right now things are looking pretty decent. Some of the issues that we are having inside of admin is where we've expanded past the Persian borders here, like into Syria. There are sometimes issues when it comes to, say, modifying administrations and having them agree to things because we are not their rightful liege. Shouldn't be a big issue for the most part, but I was only able to get certain acceptance up to like 40% for some of these other kingdoms here. Thankfully, they accepted anyway, but it's not going to be super easy to just have me snap my fingers and have our newly claimed lands turned to admin, but shouldn't be a huge issue, especially if we can get some actual holy wars off and just retract everything and then make it only admin. Oh, this is incredible. I've actually been able to make one of the nomads over here agree to actually become admin. Will you convert as well? Ooh, this is amazing. Yes, you will. Then what I'm going to do is create this actual duchy, grant it to you, and now, rather than having these consistently rebelling nomads, we actually have an admin man who is the right religion ruling over them. So that should actually cool down some of those factions we have where they want their independence. Okay, so our income looks good, our army looks good, holdings look good, succession looks good, and our vassals are all starting to fall in line. So the pieces of the puzzle are really coming together now. Not to mention, being able to essentially use admin as a way to get the nomads under control is fantastic as well. So that should hopefully mean they don't have to consistently fight smaller wars just to not lose an actual level of fame, which will be incredible. And we are almost ready to strike against the Byzantine Empire. Initially, I was afraid that we would die too soon. It looks like our timing is actually perfect, though, because once Vandad comes to power, he should be sitting in a very nice position to rule over Persia. And there it is. We have died at 69 years of age. Qarin the Fifth ruled for 44 years. And I think it's completely fair to say that he absolutely lived up to the mantle of being the successor of the Sautians. He died of an old age, a conscientious man. He was renowned for his excellent skills as a steward and a ruler. Vandad ascends to the throne. A prolific man, he has already produced numerous potential heirs for the realm. Okay, how are we looking now? 17 out of 6 domain holdings. That is pretty incredible, and largely because we actually granted Vandad so many counties over here inside of Syria. We do indeed actually have lots of children here. Our eldest son is 11. Faramar's here. Oh, what is this? Wild Oat. He was born out of wedlock. Okay, maybe not ideal for the next ruler then. What about Qarin again? Absolutely, he looks a lot better. Very nice as well that Vandad here actually has 18 diplomacy as well, which is pretty incredible. That's going to help a lot with prestige and whatnot. I think we will throw him into the stewardship tree here just for a little bit. We can still upgrade quite a few of our holdings as well as our actual estate. Let's just go for the monthly income here. We'll pick up Honored to Serve. Powerful Vassal, Tax Levy and Herd Contribution is increased. That is tremendous. We'll take Administrator next. How would we like to handle our holdings though? Obviously, I want to hold on to everything in and around the capital. The question is, do we want to let go of what's inside of Isfahan, or do we want to let go of what we hold inside of Syria? What I should actually do is play for a second, though, because some of those holdings actually just needed to be inherited by the new head of the Magi here. I think realistically, the holdings in Syria may have to go. Halab here does have the Citadel of Aleppo, which is quite nice indeed. Maybe I try and just hold on to that one specifically. Let's hand some of these away to our family members like our brother and half-brother and whatnot. Okay, there we go. 7 out of 7. We managed to hold on to the Citadel of Aleppo as well as all of our holdings in Isfahan and all of those in and around the capital as well. So pretty perfect in terms of what we'd like to see in terms of succession there. What is this though? We're trying to murder Vishtab, our brother. No. Let's not do that. He likes us. We're not even rivals. You didn't even have to kill him to actually get on the throne, so you're perfectly fine. Faction-wise, any issues? We do have a claimant to the Kingdom of Mesopotamia, which is interesting, but no insane amount of strength behind it just yet. Okay, so lots of realm management later, but things are looking nice and secure now with our holdings. We have the special building in Aleppo, the special building in Baghdad, the capital. We are maxed out on our domain holdings. Things are looking good. What I really want to focus on now is keep building, especially up in our estate. Try and focus on getting as much influence as possible, as much powerful family rating as possible. We're going to shore up these holes in the realm, clean up the border gore, and then move against the Byzantines. Let's start it now, actually, and go for the Emirate of Syunik over here. I believe our men-at-arms should be more than enough to deal with this, but let's find out. Here we go, our first battle as the new Emperor of the Persian Empire, and things are looking good, I think. Yeah, I think we win this. Ooh, in the middle of this battle that thankfully I think we definitely will win, we have been declared on by you. Who are you? The Yateskid Mordvinids with your 6,000 men. that somehow equals 14,000 over here. I feel like you actually have an ally in this war that's just not showing up here. Let's rally the troops anyway. We will look at that in just a second. Let's just deal with this first, because either way I'm going to need my men-at-arms back to deal with them. Ooh, what is this? My vassal, Governess Nazgul, has laid claim to the Persian Empire. How have you managed to do that? Your family is an obscure family as well. As if I give up my realm without a fight, she becomes our rival. Let's pin you. We're gonna sort this out. Who are you, actually? You rule in Antioch. Okay. You would not accept me revoking your actual province either, which is fair enough. But what you can't do anything about is me just straight up retiring you. There we go. Now you have no land. What a shame. And we will instead hand this off to a member of House Vandad that has served us in war before, actually wounded as well. So very happy to reward Reza here with his own governorship. There we go. Our siege is finished over here. We can enforce our demands. Let me immediately disband my men at arms. We want to raise them all together somewhere else. Now then, with that dealt with, where are the Mordvinids is the question. So over here, and you're going for the satrapy of Lebanon. You've declared war for this land over here? That's like halfway across my realm. How are you even going to get there? That's incredible. The Mordvinids want the Lebanon, so presumably they're going to have to actually get in boats, head down here through the Byzantine Empire, and then circle back around. I'm probably not going to raise my army yet until I see theirs. I'm not sure where they'll come from, to be honest. I suppose they've maybe been able to go for Lebanon here because it's a peripheral duchy. From like a naval perspective, it's peripheral. Hard to say though. Aha, here they are. Okay, so they are doing it naval. Let's raise all of our armies over here. I don't know if we'll be able to attack while they'll still have recently disembarked, but I think we win anyway, to be honest. While our army is being raised up, we have another stewardship perk here. So let's finally pick up Administrator. Incredible perk, especially being the empire of a realm like this as well. And on top of that, we also have another dynasty legacy. I remember previously the focus was going to be on customs, trying to work our way through to getting that cultural emissary, since culture is the main issue amongst our vassals. I'm quite happy with that, to be honest. I think we will do this. Promote cultural acceptance being 30% better is quite nice indeed. Bureaucracy, though. That is a new one now that we are admin. Monthly influence and governor efficiency is also incredible. I feel like every time I make a plan inside of the dynasty focuses here, I end up changing the next time I come, but I do think we need to focus at least a little bit into bureaucracy here. Customs is very, very nice, but I think we're okay for now, and I think we'll get more, especially in the short term, from bureaucracy. Okay, here we go. Army is all fully raised. Let's group them up and deal with this. This is more like it. 20,000 men. Chase them down. Do not let them escape. They're always so fast. Oh my god, the nomads are so hard to actually chase down. This is ridiculous. Do I have any court positions that could help here? Army movement speed plus 10%. Maybe that'll help. What a nightmare. They literally had us chase them into the Arabian Empire and then just group back up with their other army. There we go. There we go. We finally caught them. Oh my god, we're going to lose this. Heavy horse archers is crazy. Look at this. Kesheg, 189 attack. What we do still have, though, is our holy orders at the very least, and I'll probably call in some mercenaries as well. But to be honest, not sure if this will even be enough. I'm going to go into debt here, but I have just managed to raise enough mercenaries to make it happen. That was close, though. Okay, there we go. 38%. Will you white peace? Yes, you will. Do you know what? We will take that as well, because I'd rather not spend ages chasing you around my actual realm. It's a defensive war anyway. We can disband all. Not to mention the fact that you would have had us beat there if we didn't have gold in reserve. Oh, look at this. Another daughter, Hamdam here. Child of a concubine. Amazing. Okay, that was a strange one, to be honest, but we managed to hold on to our lands at the very least. The Mordvinids are just going to continue to be a force to be reckoned with, and even when they disperse and end up in smaller sizes, they're all allied with each other. They have confederations. We can't really control what's going to happen over here. All we can do is continuously build up our own strength and just try and always be ready. But it's probably the biggest issue, to be honest. If I could just think about the Byzantines and the Abbasids, I could have a lot more control of it. But they're just sort of this wild card that could attack at any point, usually the most frustrating point. I think that battle was also a lesson that we really need to work on getting some better men-at-arms in here. I've sort of scaled down my strong men-at-arms for the sake of our actual income, but realistically, if we're struggling against the Mordvinids, God knows what the Byzantines can throw at us. The good news, though, is that we have just picked up guilds, so we can now get those high medieval economic buildings, as well as an extra building slot. I'm going to go for windmills next. I would like to use that extra building slot where possible for either simple windmills, because they're incredible in terms of tax and holding taxes. The water wheels are also fantastic as well, because they actually make building and holding construction cost even cheaper. But to be honest, that is incredible timing to pick up guilds, because we really need to supercharge our economy once again. Now, not so much to actually just host the size of our army, but to really increase it. I think I will also increase our realm law here to limited administration. Not so much because of the vassal limit or anything, but the plus 5% tax amongst all of our vassals should have a decent impact, and their actual opinion hit isn't overly strong either. Also, I mentioned earlier that we had that special building in Baghdad with the House of Wisdom. We have the special building in Aleppo with the Citadel of Aleppo. But I also forgot that in Isfahan, we have the Friday Mosque. And then inside of Baghdad as well, somewhere here, we also have the Great Palace of Ctesiphon. So we actually have like 4 or 5 special buildings here that we hold directly, which is really helping. Oh boy, a shadow over Kabur. Kaburian fever, apocalyptic typhus. Chance of contracting in Baghdad, 11%. Summon the physician. You're actually a very decent physician too. 34 learning. Oh, it's the historical character. It's the erudite oracle. Okay, desperate measures then. Major epidemic prevention for 10 years. Fantastic. Holding taxes minus 20% is non-ideal, but that's fine. We are going to enter seclusion though, as it is spreading quite rapidly towards the capital, and I do not want to die yet. I'm still very early in this journey. Oh, that's not good. Our wife and empress lashed out against us because she is irritable and now a lunatic. She's now our rival. Any chance of a divorce here, please? Yeah, the Magi always have our back. Let's get rid of you, please. Incredible. We divorce you, and now we can marry somebody else. Realistically, I think I'll probably just go for some inheritable traits here. There's actually some from decent families too, so we don't even have to take the prestige hit to go for traits, which is very nice. When it's time to actually make this betrothal a marriage too, I may, if I can, try and make it a grand wedding ceremony too, just for those extra bonuses. To think how close it was to this run almost ending during the actual Iranian intermezzo as well, to now rule over the entire Persian Empire and have it be admin is absolutely incredible. Realistically, once we can finish off all of our investments, I think we'll be in a very strong position to move against the Byzantines. I'm going to build the capital magistry building inside of Baghdad here as well. It's incredible for holding taxes and tax. Also increases the aptitude of the eparch position, which is very, very nice. That also gives us monthly influence. And on top of that, the stewardship per level of influence goes up by +1. We get monthly prestige per court position, as well as just plus 16% domicile influence as well. So at a max level, this is a extreme influence maker. The Khitan nomadic camp migration to the Aral Kizil. They have 834 soldiers and they've declared war on us. The question is, can we catch them this time? Can we catch them? Military assistance, we do not need it, my friend. Yes, we can. There we go. Nice and easy. I mean, I'm not sure. I don't think we inherited this unless we took more land up here. Maybe we did, but I feel like this was maybe ours before. Hold on a minute. Khurramism. This, I think, is the first time we found somebody who's from a different Zoroastrian faith. This is interesting. This must have popped up recently, or possibly was some form of heresy that I missed, because it has to be new. It's in Mazandaran, which is where we started. That was definitely Mazdium before. Well, it looks like we can't actually deal with the nomads just through admin, because the ruler of the lands over here is admin, and yet the actual people inside of this county are the ones rebelling. But if you want freedom, you shall have it in death. My troops are actually already over here dealing with the other nomads anyway, so this shouldn't be an issue. Unless I can't catch them, which is a very real possibility. There we go, that's the first one dealt with of just the annoying 800 or so soldiers. Let's see if we can deal with this one. Easy enough dealing with their actual army. There we go, 100% nice and easy. And you, my friend, as is tradition, will be burned at the stake. I think I might actually turn all of Transoxiana here into a frontier state just to deal with all of these nomads to the north, and could be an argument to try and pick up these lands as well, just to found this kingdom of Ulidala here, make them an actual frontier state as well, and it should make it a little bit more difficult for those nomads to start sieging things down over here and whatnot, so Anything I can do to try and just make nomads pop up less, I'm happy to do. Another plague inside of Baghdad now. This time it's Vandad boils, measles, only a minor one compared to the apocalyptic one we had previously. But we will, oh my god, I never came out from seclusion to begin with. We will remain in seclusion. Oh no, despite being in seclusion, we've still somehow contracted measles. Omar here is still very decent, but he's in poor health himself because he also has measles? Yeah, supposedly he does, but it's not actually showing here amongst his traits, which is strange. All the same, oh boy, too late for caution. Yes, greatly reduced disease symptoms. Well done, Omar, well done. Oh no, we've immediately recovered, but we have seemingly picked up disfigured or something. Hold on, what is this over here? Oh, I know what this is. Our hostage, Ghazi, is after dying at 40 years of age from measles. The Caliph will not be happy about that, even though it was 40 years ago, and we actually kept Ghazi in our court all that time, but he is now dead. Truly tragic. Other rulers will now be more wary of sending hostages to your court. That's fine. We're not going to ask for hostages, we will be demanding them. But yeah, seemingly we've recovered from measles, but did pick up disfigured, so we now have this beautiful mask on. The important thing though is that we've recovered, we're 40 years old, and we're feeling fine. I'm trying to keep some slots open for those windmill buildings, and we've been upgrading all of our castles to the max level as well. So we'll continue to actually invest as we move forward, but I think it's time once again to continue to clean up the realm. There we go. That's what we like to see. Let's deal with this. They're actually allied with each other, which was interesting as well. Let's move into siege this down. Our Sasanian sword is struggling. Yeah, lots of things need to be actually repaired here. We do have like 3 Sasanian swords though, right? No, just 2. Okay. Well, repair this one, and with this one, you can actually reforge into a pedestal item. Ooh, very nice. I should have done this earlier. Fallen Sun. Oh no, we were doing so well in this battle. Who's after dying? Oh, it was Faramar's here, our eldest son, the one that was a wild oat born out of wedlock. That's a shame. We hate to lose a son. We will become rivals with Khosrow here, because we're likely going to have him either imprisoned or dead by the end of this. There we go, 100%. We will enforce our demands. Happy days. Incredible. We did not even have to do it ourselves. Our rival that killed our son has been killed almost instantly of smallpox after losing his land. So justice has been served. With that though, I think I will leave this episode here. Super happy with our progress today though. We managed to become admin. We had the heir of our choice come to power, who is proving himself tremendously here. It wasn't even fully planned to have a Midas-touched actual successor, but it has been incredible for us because at the same time, all of those innovations started to kick in and we've been able to deeply invest in our actual holdings while also picking up some even more special buildings here. We've built out our estate quite a bit as well. Still lots more to invest in, but that'll probably be true just going forward in general. I feel like with the deep investment that I've done today, we will continue to do as much as we can with this character since his stewardship is so incredible. But once we get enough gold, we will start to build out our provincial armies inside of Persia, Aleppo, and Isfahan, and we will use those to strike against the Byzantines. But showing up those holes in our realm, dealing with some of the actual nomads over here. Oh, our vassals actually picked up this land as well, which is great to see. No doubt we'll still have some that rise up since it's more at the actual county level than just who's ruling it, but we managed to put a decent stop to it. Our realm is nice and big, nice and secure, no super worrying factions. Things are looking tremendous. From going to almost losing this run during the intermezzo to now having this incredibly strong Persian Empire, I am very, very happy with our progress, and we've never been closer to getting revenge for Darius. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to like and subscribe. A massive shout out to our channel members helping to support the channel and everything that I do here. And a very special shout out to our Emperor's Hands tier in Faustbread and Kenny IDFK. Have a great day, and I will see you all in the next video.